also use the rsync command to copy a remote file or directory. And to specify a remote path, you use username at the host name, then a colon, and the path to that file or directory. So for example, I will copy this whole example directory into my home directory on my own computer with rsync a, my username at Tortuga, colon, and then just copy paste that whole path, and I'll just copy that to my home directory where I am. So then you see this example, everything is in there, same as on the remote server, and all synced up. So now I'll show you how to read files. So I have this data file that I moved into this directory. It's a small bed file. And there are a few commands that you can use to read the contents of a file. One of them is cat. And cat just takes the file and prints all of its contents into your terminal, like so. Of course, you don't usually want to do that if you have like a giant 100,000 line file. So you can also use more and less to read it, to read a file line by line. So if I want to do that with this data file, do more data file dot bed, and this when you're using more, it just reads line by line, and you can advance through the file by pressing either enter or, well, I guess it is enter, and then you exit with either Q or space, apparently works as well. And then there's also less, which is similar, but you use the arrow keys, you can go up and down in the file, so it's a little more functional than more. And similarly, you exit out of that by pressing Q. Then you can also view, if you just want to view some of the lines from the top of a file or the bottom of a file, you can do that using head and tail respectively. By default, it will print the head will print the first 10 lines of the file. So head, data file, and it prints the first 10 lines. And then tail, similarly, tail, data file, prints the last 10 lines of the file. Alternately, with both head and tail, you can specify a number with the N flag. So say I want to print 20 lines. Then you can see it print out 20 lines using head and 20. And you can also, so one thing that's really useful in Linux, if you're ever not sure how to use a command, use this man command, short for manual. It shows you the manual page of any given command on your system, as long as it has a manual entry. So for example, if I want to know more about the options available for the command ls, do man ls, and you can just scroll through this manual file that it shows you, and you can see it shows you all of the different options for this command. There's quite a lot of them. And you exit with Q. And then for a lot of commands, there will be, it's pretty standard to have either a -H flag or 2 dashes and then help. Most commands will have both of these as options, and that will print out a usually slightly shorter useful information about how to use that command. So if I say, let's see if ls has one. So that's a little messy, but there we go. So you can see it pretty much prints out the same thing that was in that manual file, with just information about all the different options for the command.